Legends Festival at Blaise Castle in Brighton. Apologies for that. And not the greatest journey here. Friday, M4 motorway, heading west out of London towards Bristol. Horrendous. Accidents, roadworks, all sorts of nonsense. Fairly average, I have to say. So today I'm with Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno. We're at Blaise Castle here in Bristol. We're doing the Legends Festival, which is kind of what we did a couple of weeks ago in Cromer. If you remember that gig, I did a couple of live chats. It was raining all day. It's been raining in London all day, and apparently we're getting the rain at about 4 or 5 o'clock. So that promises to be a real treat, obviously. And so this is for the same company as the Cromer gig, and well, the stage is here and the people that are working for the festival are here. Rest of my bandmates aren't. Apparently there's a van blowout on one of the motorways, and they're going to be a couple of hours late, so I thought I'd come and talk to you fine people here on the YouTube channel, in YouTube land. Welcome. An impromptu live chat on a Friday afternoon. Big welcome to all the new subscribers. I've had 5 or 6 new subscribers over the past day or two. Welcome. If you've never been here on Brooks's Bass Corner before, you're very welcome. Hope you find some content here on the channel that you find interesting and useful. And yeah, so it's time killing. Now, we were all supposed, well, we weren't all going to get here. Some of the band said they weren't coming till this evening because we're not on till about 9 o'clock. But those of us that didn't really want to face the trials and tribulations of the M4 motorway on a Friday said we'd get here early and then do what little of a sound check we would do, and then go off for a pub lunch somewhere. I think that pub lunch might be a little late now. But it's not raining here at the moment, but it is due to. So I'm hoping it doesn't, because the last gig we did at Cromer, it wasn't a washout. But if you ask my opinion, I'm talking quietly because the organiser of this event's out there. If health and safety had seen it, they would have shut it down. The stage was awash. We got electrics up there. I don't want to take the camera off of the tripod, but if I showed you the stage, basically the side of the stage is like that. You got one small material panel in the middle, and then 2 gaping holes either side of it on both sides of the stage. So if the wind's coming in sort of horizontally or semi-horizontally, it's going to flood the stage. We're going to be in exactly the same position we were in Cromer. So happy days. Take your life in your hands, Michael. This is the part of the job they didn't tell you about when I was 23, but hey, there we go. So hope you're all safe and well out there in Bassland. Thank you for following the YouTube channel. Thank you for all the comments, all the likes, all the stuff that's been going on, all your interaction, whether it's on social media or here on YouTube. And I hope you're all having a good summer. We'll be back to the regular live chats very shortly, September the 5th. We've got one more of the planned monthly live chats that we're doing through the summer. That one will be on Tuesday 29th, which is a week this Tuesday. If you want to get involved in that live chat, you just go into the video section of the channel here on YouTube, and you'll see a list of thumbnails that says upcoming, and one of them on there will say live chat number 53, and it'll have August 29th on it. That's the next live chat. So if you want to be reminded of that live chat nearer the time, there's a grey square on that video. So if you click on it at the moment, you can go through to the screen. You'll see there's a grey square that says notify me. If you hit that, it'll then say notification on, and you'll get a reminder nearer the time on the day, probably about 15 to 20 minutes beforehand, and it'll tell you Brooks's Bass Corner live chat number 53 is happening on the 29th of August. So then after that, every Tuesday, apart from one, from September the 5th through to the 19th of December, We'll have the regular weekly live chats back on Tuesday evenings at 8 o'clock. The one Tuesday we won't be doing is Halloween, the 31st of October, because we've got a family birthday that night. So we're going to do it on the Monday. Still at 8 o'clock though. But otherwise they're all booked in. So if you follow us on Facebook, you'll find there are events already set up for all those live chats to give you a reminder. It'll be good to see you all again. Hope you're all sort of safe and well and fighting fit. So busy old weekend this weekend. So Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno tonight here at Blaise Castle, and then tomorrow we've got another Uncle Funk gig, which is a private party in Newmarket, which is kind of Cambridge, Norfolk, Essex kind of borders, near Cambridge anyway. So we've got a private party there, and then I've got a gig with an ABBA tribute, Platinum ABBA, on Sunday at the Princess Theatre in Hunstanton. So it's a busy old weekend, a lot of miles, but that's okay. Today's the worst of the weather apparently. It's going to be a bit better rest of the weekend, so fingers crossed. So if you've seen the new merchandise we've got here on the channel, I've got the Bass Legend quotes range that has been out now for a couple of weeks. We're in the middle of a 15% discount on all the merchandise. So whether you use the UK or Europe store or the US and worldwide store, everything in the stores is 15% off. So even the new range of Bass Legend t-shirts and mugs, they're all 15% off as well. So if you want to take a look at that, I've put links in the description box. You'll find for the merchandise. There's also all the regular affiliate links for Amazon, Thomann, Gear for Music, and ANDERTONS here in the UK. So if you've got any bass related purchases you'd like to help the channel out a little, you can. Just go on to any of those affiliate links, find the product you're looking for, add it to your basket, go through with the transaction, and then the channel will receive a very small, I mean small, affiliate commission. And that, all those little bits of commission added up equals a larger piece of commission, and that's what helps to keep the channel going. Stacey Ann, North Carolina, hello there. Friday gigging ahoy. Exactly, coming my way. There's a load of weird noises being pumped through the PA, so if you hear some weird sound effects, I apologise, it's not me. It's all happening out there. They're testing the PA. There's another one. It's not my stomach gurgling for lunch either. So I thought I was going to have a lovely pub lunch. That's going to be a little delayed now, so there we go again. So yes, so the affiliate links and the merchandise links are in the description box below. You'll also see some links there for a couple of videos. The bass string experiment series, there's a playlist there for all those videos, and there's also a link for the cleanup, how to make your status empathy bass play better, which kind of preceded the bass string experiment videos last summer. So why have I moved on to that? So tonight is gig number 58 in that series. Tomorrow will be 59, and Sunday will be 60. So we'll have done 60 gigs with the same set of strings on that bass. Quite unimaginable, to be honest. A year ago I would not have thought we'd get 60 gigs out of that set of strings, but none of the strings have snapped yet, fingers crossed. Again, the tone is dying off, the feel is definitely gone, but they're still doing what they need to do. So potentially after this weekend's gigs I might have to say we've got to the end. We'll see. I noticed last week that the strings kind of hardening up a little, kind of all suppleness was going, but we'll see. If the EQ on the empathy can do the business, then we're all good. We'll carry on as much as we can. So yeah, 60 gigs, crazy really, from a set of 20 to 25 pound strings. Well done, Rotor Sound, a fine job, So yeah, I'm keeping my ears open because they're going to obviously start pumping music through the PA shortly, in which case I put the window up and hope that you guys can't hear it. Otherwise I could get hit with a copyright claim, which is what normally happens when we try and do impromptu live chats at festivals. There'll be a load of music playing, and I then have to split the financial gains with the copyright holder of whatever record's being played in the background. We'll see how we go, eh? It's all good, so I hope you're all safe and well. If you've got any gigs going on this weekend, let me know where you're playing. Let me know what bases you're taking. If you bought any new gear lately, we're thinking of buying some new gear. Looking for some advice on some new gear. If I can help in any way, more than happy to do so. Stacey, that's a good test for the EQ as well. How much can it compensate? Sorry, I missed that. As I've said before, on these live chats, the messages disappear after a couple of seconds. Can it compensate when the strings are going, gone? Well, that's where they're heading. Going. They're probably on the second going at the moment. They're not far from being gone. But we'll see. We will see. They're kind of a bit super slippery now. The roughness which you associate with rotor sound strings has certainly gone. There's not a lot of grip on them anymore. I mean, the windings are still there, but they're all coated in all the muck and gunk that I've put on there. They haven't been cleaned at all in a year. I haven't cleaned those strings. Literally just taken the bass to gigs, played it, put it back in the case. We wanted to see how long those strings would last. So 60 gigs. That's some going. It really is. I'm very impressed. But last week, on the Friday, we did Saltasia Festival at Windsor Racecourse. And that was the shortest gig I've done in a long time. 30 minutes. That's all we did. One set of 30 minutes because I had so many acts on. Aside from the headliners, everyone had to do 30 minutes. But there we are. That's fine. So the strings got a little bit of respite there. Yeah, back. I think we're doing an hour and a half tonight. And then tomorrow I think will be, it's either 2 50-minute sets or 2 1-hour sets. And then Sunday at the theatre with ABBA will be 2 50s. So they've deserved some rest, those strings. They've done a good shift. So well done, Rotor Sound. Those swing bass strings have done the business. So we got a very overcast day here. There's not any blue sky. Not in this vicinity. There was a little bit on the drive down here, but not a lot. And coming out of London, it was just horrible weather for about the first 50 miles. And it kind of dried up, but then we hit loads of traffic. So I'm happy because I don't have to worry about all the M4 traffic nightmares that will happen to the rest of the band later on. Because as you leave it later, the M4 just gets worse and worse and worse. Always. Let's see, I saw a message there. Stacey, they have earned their keep. They certainly have. I honestly didn't think they would get much past 40, if I'm honest. This wasn't an experiment, but back in 2015, 2016, I was doing a lot of regular gigs, 4, 5 a week. And at one point, I realised I'd had a set of those strings on that bass for a long time. And I counted back through my diary. How many gigs have these done? And at that time, they did 36. And those strings were dead. After 36 gigs. So the fact this set has done, excuse me, maybe a bit hay fever going on because we've sat in the field. The fact these have done 60, and I'm not a light player by any sense of imagination. I dig in. Excuse me, it's a bit hay fevery here. Feel it in the air. There we go. Let's put that up. can't win. Oh, shut up. So yeah, we will see how those strings cope now this weekend. And like I say, by the time we get to Sunday and we've done Sunday's gig, that might be the end. If not before. Could be after tonight, who knows. We will see. We will see. But last week, I felt on the last gig of last weekend's run, they were just getting a little too slippery, and they felt hard, like the suppleness of the strings were gone. Thank you for saying bless you. My nose is gone all fuzzy because we sat in the middle of a field. I didn't take a hay fever tablet this morning because I haven't really needed to for a couple of weeks. Wish I had now. There we are. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout tonight. If you remember back when we did the gig in Cromer, which was in the middle of July, I remember sitting in the car thinking there's no way anyone's going to come out for this. It was absolutely pouring. But they did, and they all started turning up around about sort of 5 o'clock in sort of groups of 2s and 3s and 4s. And by the time we went on, even though it was pouring with rain, there was easily probably 1,000 people, maybe more. And they were all dancing in the rain. And when we got them to do rowboats, when we do Oops Upside Your Head, loads of them all sat down. So there'll be some. There were some soggy bottoms that night, but we'll see how it goes. It doesn't feel like they've had a huge amount of rain here yet, but I know the forecast is that there's going to be loads later. The ground is a bit damp, but it's not like it's been raining for days on end. So we'll see what we get at the end of the evening. We shall. So had a new pedal come in this week. There'll be a whole load of pedal demos and reviews coming imminently. And I did an impromptu live chat at the start of the week when the new merch appeared and that pedal appeared. And I apologise to you all that there hasn't been a lot of regular content on the channel past few weeks and months. I wasn't going to say, but I might as well say it. So basically my father-in-law is very close to passing away. He's got lung cancer, and we've been dealing with that since about the 3rd week in May, and that's pretty much taken up a lot of our time at home, dealing with that, dealing with mother-in-law, dealing with their pet dog, walking the dog, looking after him, looking after their dad, and all of that. So it's been very busy sort of dealing with that situation, and as much as I wanted to get loads of video stuff up, that kind of took priority. So I apologise now, and we will attempt to get a load of new stuff up as soon as possible, hopefully next week, because next week I've only got one show. So aside from a rehearsal on Monday, I've got Monday daytime, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, pretty much free to do a load of content. So keep your eyes posted. I will get as much new content up as I possibly can, of which that new pedal will be one of the things. So it's an MXR Poly Blue Octave pedal, which has all sorts of fuzz and phaser features built in. Really good pedal. Had my eye on one for best part of this year, and finally took the plunge. So that will be part of a load of effect videos. I've had a load of them prepped, ready to go for ages, but again, same old thing that I've said before. It's having the time to do the social media promotion and the hours that it takes either side of a video upload, video launch. You have to put in the time to give it the biggest push, otherwise there's no point putting the video out there. This channel doesn't have enough subscribers to guarantee thousands and thousands of views. So I have to do the aforementioned social media push in order to give it the best possible chance, and that takes time, which, to be fair, we haven't had a lot of over recent weeks and months, but we will, and I will get that stuff out as soon as I can, alongside a load of video and demo and review videos of various basses, amps, speakers, as I said, pedals, some other accessories. I will try and get all of that up as soon as I can. And then there's all the bass string experiment videos. So, as I said earlier, today's gig 58. If you're looking on the channel, we're on gig 14, which was last September. So the next bunch of those string experiment videos will feature 5 gigs, because, to be honest, the strings weren't changing a hell of a lot from gig to gig, and it would have been a video for each one saying the same thing. Didn't make much sense to me. I wouldn't watch all of that. So we're going to consolidate, and each video of that series now will feature roughly 5 gigs worth. So it will be, how are the strings before that run of 5 gigs, and what state were they in after those 5 gigs. Seems to work, seems to make sense in my head, you know, rather than you watch a video saying the same thing about those strings. It'll be 5 gigs. So what were they like at the start, what were they like afterwards? And again, I had a couple of those all set, ready to go, but it's just having that time to do the promotion for them. So I will endeavour to get some of those up in the next 7 days, as much as I can. There we are. See, there's 3 people on. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Yet another impromptu live chat here on Brooks's Bass Corner. I've had a few people ask me why they're not getting notifications when I'm doing these impromptu live chats, and only see them after the event. You have to make sure, A, that you've hit the subscribe button, that you subscribe to the channel, but also the notification bell. You have to make sure you select all. There are 3 options with the notification bell. None, which just means you subscribe to the channel but you don't receive notifications. Highlights, which means the algorithm will pick out the things based on things you've watched before. So if you like review videos, it will tell you when there's a review video, it won't tell you when there's an impromptu live chat. But if you select all, the algorithm will tell you every time I post up or I go live here on the channel. And so that's what you got to do, really. I can't do that for you, unfortunately. That's a individual basis. So if you want to get notifications every time we do one of these impromptu live chats, make sure you select all on the notification bell. That's how it works. So yeah, so here we are at Legends Festival, Blaise Castle in Bristol, down the southwest of England. I'd like to say I hurtled down the M4. I didn't. It was a trundle today. There were various accidents, various breakdowns, and I think there was some roadworks as well. I saw a message there, Mr. Lover. Sorry, missed that. It faded. Sorry to hear about the father-in-law. Kind of going through something similar. Mum's got diagnosed with cancer second time round about a month ago. Don't know if I'm coming or going at the moment. We're in exactly the same position, mate. Father-in-law went into a hospice on Tuesday. And he's not in a good place. Well, the hospice is lovely, but he's not in a good place health-wise. And I actually thought, I didn't think he'd see this point in the week. I thought he was going downhill rapidly, but he's still with us. He's on medication. I don't want to turn this into a cancer chat, because it's A, it's not my place to discuss it, and B, I don't want to upset anyone, or yeah, so we're sort of braced imminently for the news that he may pass away. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be Sunday. He could last another week. Who knows? We're not in charge of it. We're not in control of it. And it's been very upsetting, especially for my partner. Yeah, I've never had any family go through this sort of end of life process. It's a learning curve. The last family member I had pass away, direct sort of family, was my grandmother, and that was 28 years ago. So I've never had to deal with, here we go, pumping music through the PA. I've never had to deal with close relatives suffering with cancer. So it's the first time I've been through it. It's not particularly pleasant. But, you know, we've tried to make the last couple of months as comfortable for him as possible. And you learn a lot. Next time I have a relative or a family member goes through something similar, we know, or me and my partner will know what we have to address and how quickly we need to do it. Patrick Sweeney, good to see you. Afternoon, Mike. Just saw that you're on. Yeah, Andy. Hey, Mike. Sorry to hear your news. Andy. I know a lot of Andys. Which Andy? Which Andy? Yes. Yeah, sad news. What's your news, Patrick? How's your sister? Is she still with us? Patrick's sister had cancer. Andy Fry from Australia, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope you have a good weekend. Thank you for joining in. So I'm here at Blaise Castle in Bristol. We're doing precision. You probably would have preferred a fretless. Are you playing a precision fretless or a jazz fretless, Andy? Which one are you going with? Patrick Sweeney, I can empathise. Yeah, not so good. I'm going to have to go to Oz again, just a matter of time, sadly. Sorry to hear that, Patrick. If you need cover on any of your gigs while you're away, if you need me, give me a shout. You know where I am. If I can help, I'm more than happy to do so. Andy, yeah, I won't make it bright at all. Good. Oh, you're going to use a jazz. Okay, front pickup. Chrome flats. Yeah, that'll do the job. Stacey, good vibes to you with your mum, Mr. Lover. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'd go for that. Yeah, flats, front pickup. Yeah, that'll do it. That should do it. Should sound really nice, actually. I think you might want to play with a phone mute, maybe. I just can't get on with phone mutes. Every time I try and play one, it just sounds horrible. And actually, the way the strings feel is horrible. And it's sometimes I just can barely get a note out of there. It's almost like a non-noted thump. Not my thing. I just deaden the strings with something else. Sorry, Stacey, missed your message there. YouTube, when we ask for live chat, please just leave the messages on the side of the screen so I can see them. Patrick Sweeney, good vibes to you as well for your sister. Yeah, it's the Brooks's Bass Corner loving on a Friday afternoon. So yeah, so that's where we are really. So the next live chat, the regular live chat, will be a week on Tuesday on 29th of August, which will be live chat number 53. After that, September the 5th is when we go back to regular Tuesday night live chats here on Brooks's Bass Corner from 8 PM on a Tuesday. So if you want to sort of set notifications so that YouTube tells you when those live chats are coming up. If you go into the videos or the live section here on the channel, click on any of the videos. You can go through to them already. You can give them a like if you wish. You don't have to, but you can. And you can put messages in, so your message is the first on the live chat, and that's the first thing I'll deal with. But you'll find the notification buttons on there. If you hit that, YouTube will send you a notification on the day of the live chat just to remind you. Graham Potts, I think that is. Hi, mate, and all the bass buddies out there. Good to see you, mate. Patrick, thanks, Mike. I will do indeed. Yeah, if I can help, Patrick, just let me know. And you know, it's hard when you've got to organise stuff around family and illness and what have you. On the way here, I drove past a venue that was the first gig I played 5 years ago, when an Oasis and Stone Roses tribute, who I know and had played with previously, their bass player died at the age of 52, and they had a whole string of gigs through November and December of 2018, and the bass player was at hospital having checks. He had various ailments and stuff. He was there, regular checks, nothing bad, and he had a heart attack, fell down, died in the hospital. And they had this string of gigs, and I was doing 2 that weekend with them, and then they contacted me and said, look, would you be able to stand in for the rest of the year, pretty much? I said, yeah, I can do it. And I think there was 1, maybe 2 gigs that I couldn't do, but the rest of them I could do. And I just drove past that venue on the way here in Bristol. So, you know, I know trying to schedule stuff, and Patrick earns his living playing just as I do. It can be very stressful trying to sort all that out. So if I can help, Patrick, you know where I am. I think you've got my number. But if you haven't, just message me on Facebook or Messenger, and I'll send it over to you if I can help you out. More than happy to. And also, if we address that situation this far ahead, also gives me, or whoever you end up getting to debt for you, sort of a good run up to learn the material. So the bass community shall prevail. That's what I say. Open my door. I keep playing the same track over and over on that system. I don't know what it is. Oh, shut up. I want some air in the car, and I don't want to get hit with a copyright claim, which is what usually happens. So, yeah. So where's everyone playing this weekend? Let me know where you're off to on your travels, what gear you're taking, what you're using. Anyone using IEMs, not using amps? Some people using amps only and no IEMs. Pedal boards. What's everyone using at the moment? Let me know. Something tells me my band ain't going to be sound checking today, but I don't really care about that. Last time we did a sound check and it was semi-pointless, to be honest, because once we went on, it was just do the gig and go. We all stood there worrying for our lives as the stage got absolutely flooded with rain. I said at the start of this live chat, I don't want to move the camera because it's a pain. The back end, setting it back up on here on the dashboard, but basically the stage, aside from 2 strips of material kind of down the middle third on either side, that's all there is, and the roof and the back. There's nothing from the front, and the sides are virtually completely open. We're going to get completely drenched like we did last time. At the moment there's no rain here, but it's forecast to come in around about 5-6 o'clock, and it's kind of looking like it's trying to brighten up a bit, but the forecast says 80 to 90% rain, and yeah, it's not sort of lending me to believe it's going to be dry, but it'll be what it'll be when we get on. Just wish the sound man had picked some different songs, but there we go. Graham, Mike, can you believe that my Brooksy hoodie was stolen from one of the guests, or by one of the guests at a wedding gig? Yeah, I can, because they're great. Oh, mate, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. They are great hoodies, I have to say. I've worn mine quite a lot over the past couple of months. It's lovely, very comfortable, keeps you warm when you come out of a gig. Oh, mate, I'm sorry to hear that. But in a perverse way, it's spreading the word. Hey, Patrick. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to move this off because it's going to start getting warm and then the camera goes bizarre. What's this say? Andy, some blues festivals on the way. Big review shows with a bunch of Aussie legends. Very good. I'm in the backing band as part of the McNamara project. Okay, cool. Excellent. Good to know you're working. Is that all around Australia, or is that just in like a certain city or a couple of cities? What's the deal? What's the deal? Oh, goodness, turn that music down. So we can get some air in it. Let the camera cool down as well. Give me some. There we go. Lots of sub thumps and bish bash bosh music. Oh, he's going to play it again. It must be his own single or something. He keeps playing it. Mostly Victoria State. Very good. Cool. Donald Trump's niece has exposed him live on American TV. Hope not physically exposed. That's too much info for my liking, I would say. But yeah. Looks like the same faces from Chroma. Sound crew wise. I didn't think they did a particularly good job last time. The changeover between the two bands, we needed them to help the Motown band get off the stage. They basically just stood around chatting to each other, and then we went on late, and not by much, by about 3 or 4 minutes, but people started getting a bit edgy and a bit testy. It was like, it ain't our fault. Get your crew to do their thing. Hang on, here we go. Good old Donny. Headed for, yeah. Yes, I think so, Andy. Let's hope so, eh? I know there'll be fans of his probably that follow this channel and will now spit out a load of vitriol, but come on, you can't honestly believe he's the best thing for this planet. We've had one go. Oh, someone's got all their alarms going on. I wonder if it's the same catering companies. It might be. In which case I won't be going for the burrito this time. Caused me some havoc last time. Hence the pub lunch might be the better option. But yeah. So what new purchases have I got to tell you about? So the pedal that I was talking about earlier, MXR Poly Blue Octave, arrived on Monday. Doing a review and a demo of that. Well, hopefully. Once I finish the gigs this weekend on Sunday, got Queen. Well, it's a rehearsal stroke audition for a new Depp singer on Monday. But basically Monday during the day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's all YouTube work. So there will be content flying up rapidly. And then there's the Harley Benton Marquis bass that came a couple of weeks ago, which was part of a special sort of anniversary sale at Thomann, where they had a bunch, I think it was like 25 Thomann instruments and pedals to celebrate the 25th anniversary of their relationship, Harley Benton and Thomann. And my one came, as some of you will know. I did a live chat when it arrived, unboxed it. We were actually going to test it out, sort of pickups and electronically, on the last live chat, but we had Neil Fairclough with us, and that took precedence. And that was a fairly extensive conversation. I think you'll agree. We did 3 hours, although the whole live chat was about 4 1/4, I think. So we haven't done that. So that might be a live chat at some point next week, or I may just do a regular long form video for that. There is a demo video of 4-string and 5 strings version of that bass that I had for review, 2 years ago, but I haven't put the review videos up yet, so I'll do that. So that bass is coming. I was using that last night to run the ABBA set. Lovely bass to play. Strings are horrendous though. So I'm wearing those out when I'm doing practice at home. Once it's time to change those strings, that bass will be going on the workbench, having some work done to it. And I think what else? I don't think I've bought any other basses. I think that's about it, yeah. And then there's a bunch of basses I've been lent by a good friend, and there'll be demo and review videos of those, as well as some workshop videos as well. Some of them need setting up, adjusting, new strings, good clean and polish up for most of them. So I'll be doing that as well. So there's no shortage of and then there's the fretless series as well, which I've now kind of got scripted out. I know how that's going to go. So I've just got to start filming that and editing it. So join me on my journey to fretless heaven. I have to say, I've noticed a lot of people either buying fretlesses or starting to use them live and doing stuff on social media. Is fretless about to make a comeback? Maybe it is. Stacey, Mary Trump, sorry. YouTube, please address this. Keep the messages on the screen. Oh yeah, Mary Trump is quite the raconteur about her uncle. She explains a lot. I'm surprised my country is still in one piece after this shenanigans. You're not wrong, Stace. I agree. We don't need a round two of that idiot. I'm sure Joe Biden ain't the perfect solution, but Donald Trump most certainly isn't. I'm sorry, I don't like turning the channel into a political soapbox, but in the good of the planet, bearing in mind all the rubbish we're going through anyway. We don't need him stirring the fire. There's lots going on here. I might have to grab a little something out of my snack bag in a minute. We can play, if you want, this is a new game here on Brooks's Bass Corner. We can play the snack bag bingo. So if you can guess what I'm going to pull out of that snack bag, as close as possible. I mean, it could be anything, couldn't it? It could be a severed head. It could be a deer's body. It could be an old jumper. But it's not, it's all food and snacks in that bag. If you can guess what I'm going to pull out of there, there could be a free t-shirt in it for you. Brooks's Bass Corner t-shirt. Actually, for the latecomers, the late stragglers, if you're watching, we've got a new range of merch. T-shirts and mugs featuring quotes from assorted bass legends that I've interviewed back in my days when I was a writer for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player Magazine. Now, I know a lot of you, like I do, on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Facebook, all the social media, you're bombarded with any sort of band or music that you follow on those platforms. You get bombarded with people offering unsolicited and unofficial merchandise and t-shirts. It's really annoying, and none of the money goes to the bands or the artists. So these t-shirts, if you're wondering how I've been able to do this, so the money obviously goes into the Brooks's Bass Corner merchandise pot. It's not going to the stars or what have you, but the deal on this. So these quotes are taken from interviews I did with those players. I own the copyright. The magazine doesn't own the copyright. I own the copyright. The magazine owned the copyright up until the point it's published, and they are allowed to use it in perpetuity. They can use it forever. But I own the copyright on those quotes and those interviews. Now, before I did this range of merch, I did all my checks to find out what the deal is regarding copyright and permission for using a quote in order to make money. Now, you could say doing interviews on YouTube is no different. You're earning money from people watching those videos. But the legal side of that is dealt with at YouTube's end. Merchandise is the person that's creating that merchandise. So I read up about it, I asked some legal people, and they said, so basically, yes, you own the copyright, but in order to use someone's quote, in order to make money, you have to get their permission. So I did. So I contacted Lee Sklar, contacted Mark King, contacted Nathan East. I couldn't contact Chris Squire, obviously, he's passed away. Haven't been able to get anything from the Chris Squire estate. But if they have a problem with me doing it, all they have to do is say, please stop, and I'll stop producing that. So basically there is a quote there from Lee Sklar, there's a quote from Mark King, a quote from Nathan East, and a quote from Chris Squire. Range of t-shirts, generally dark. I think I've made each one, there's a white version. If you go into the UK and Europe store, or the US and worldwide store, links are in the description box, and you will see those designs. So there's 4. If you're looking for a t-shirt, there's about 20 different styles of t-shirt. So there are men's t-shirt, women's t-shirt, there are some cut in a certain way, there's a regular t-shirt, there's ones with rolled up sleeves, there's some with ringer t-shirts, some are baseball shirts, what have you. Find the style of shirt you like, pick from the colours that I've given you the option of. Then there's also the mugs as well. And this weekend, up until midnight on Monday, so Monday going into Tuesday, wherever you are in the world, there's a 15% discount on all merch. So not just the new stuff, the existing stuff that's been on the channel for ages, all of that is 15% off wherever you are in the world. So if you were thinking of buying some, Graham, you're looking for a new hoodie, this is the weekend to do it. 15% off, mate. I haven't done any hoodies with this quotes range because the printable area on hoodies is quite different to t-shirts. So at the moment it's just t-shirts and mugs, and there will be some more. There's some I might do as a limited edition with photos that I took of those legends when I interviewed them. So we'll see about that further down the line, but at the moment it's just quotes. Hope you like them. My sample merch came through at the start of the week. If you want to check it out, I did a live chat video on Monday, an impromptu live chat, which I think was about 20-25 minutes long, so you can see the videos. The package arrived, I did an unboxing, you see the t-shirts. The mugs weren't these quote mugs, they were mugs with the Brooks's Space Corner logo that my parents wanted. So yeah, here we go. So have we got any guesses on what's in the snack bag? No, clearly not. I'll give it a minute or two and then I'll pluck something out of the goodie bag. So yeah, so there we go, another weekend on the road. Yes sir. Hopefully next year is going to be very busy. Going to be doing a lot of festivals abroad in Europe, Denmark specifically. We did a festival called Smukfest. I don't know how you pronounce it. S-M-U-K. There's an umlaut over the U. So Schmuckfest. Banana. First gambit from Mr. Sweeney there. So we did a gig there 2 weeks ago. There were some big artists. Megadeth were on. It was actually like a whole week festival. They had Megadeth on the Wednesday, Christina Aguilera on the Saturday, Jason Derulo, David Guetta were on the night before us. We were on the Friday. It was Rag and Bone Man, bunch of tributes, loads of big sort of European and Danish artists. And they didn't know who we were. They basically wanted a disco band. Didn't have anyone in Europe, well, anyone in Denmark that they knew of, I guess, to use. They Googled us. They Googled UK disco band and ended up with us. So we went out and did the show, and there I sat. I think we blew their minds. So at 1:45, 2 weeks ago, in a huge, like, big top. So we were undercover, thank God. They'd had horrendous weather all week. Friday was like the one kind of semi-dry day, and it worked good for us. So we played from 1:45 in the morning till 2 a.m. and they loved it. There's videos up on my social media. There's some on Brooks's Bass Corner on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. And yeah, great crowd. 4,000, maybe 5,000 people in this big top, and they absolutely loved it. So we came off stage, the agent and promoter were there, and they were like, oh my God, we're going to book you next year. We're going to start booking you for all our festivals and stuff. So looking forward to that. I think we've opened some doors there, and if we can get into the European festival thing, it'd be great. I mean, Europe does festivals in a whole different way, whole different level to what we do them here in the UK. Seriously looked after, well coordinated, great food, great accommodation. Nothing was too much trouble. Really just fab. We flew in, went to the hotel, went to the festival, ate, hung around, chilled out, did our gig, went back to the hotel, breakfast, up, out, flights back. Simple. It was great. Andy, I may be playing New Orleans next year. Good for you, sir. Well done. I've never done a gig in the US. I've only actually been to the US once, which was 2014, when I did interviews with Aguilar and Spectre over in the US for the mag. And I was there for, crikey, 6 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's right, we flew back Thursday night, landed Friday. So I would love to do some gigs in the US, but I don't think I play in any acts that are likely to get over there, sadly. Which is great, because I missed it last time I toured the US. New Orleans is one of those places you just have to do. Good on you, mate. Keep us posted on that. Send some pictures and stuff. I'll post it up on the social media for the channel, and get some bums on seats for you. Sorry, what did that say? I did a few tours opening for John Mayer and Dave Matthews. Very cool. Well done. Nice one. When was that, Andy? What years? So at the moment, only Patrick Sweeney has put in a gambit for what's going to come out of my snack bag. And he said a banana. Good start. 2002. Oh, prime John Mayer. So David, I'm trying to remember his surname. Remind me what his, well, with the John Butler trio, cool. Remind me, David Labriere, amazing bass player. I've got a DVD, Any Given Tuesday, I think, is that one, for John Mayer. Outdoor Amphitheatre. Amazing band. Amazing band. I kind of went off John Mayer after, was it Continuum? 2006. I loved the first couple of albums, and it just seemed like he was so intent on being the next Eric Clapton. And it was like, yeah, to me, I thought he was better than that. I thought he had better songs than that. I don't want to sit and listen to a load of blues guitar all the time. I could go back and check his back catalogue since, but I loved Room for Squares, and I loved Heavier Things, and I loved the first album, which is like an EP album. And then Continuum, I thought, it's going off at a tangent here. And then after that, it was I Am the New Eric Clapton. And I was like, we've already got Eric Clapton. I don't need to hear someone else do it. Labriere, yeah, there we go. Nice chap too. Seemed like it. That was the tour we were on. Fabulous. Well done, Andy. Johnny's actually a sweet guy if you can get through all the girls to get to him. Good luck with that. Yes, quite the ladies' man by all accounts. Good for him. Good for him. Yeah, I loved that period. I remember at the time, so I kind of discovered him in 2000. Oh God, I bought the albums in 2004, 2005. The first time I heard him was 2001, just before 9/11. Was it 2000? Yeah, I heard of him then, and then, which was No Such Thing, and then they re-released that here in the UK, I think in 2003 on UK radio, to kind of the forerunner to Heavier Things coming out. And I remember thinking, I love that song, and I had it as an MP3 for ages. And I thought, I started downloading some tracks of his, and I thought, you know what, just go and buy the albums. And I love those first three, that EP album, Room for Squares, Heavier Things, and then it was a case of waiting for Continue. But all through 2004, 2005, I was a big John Mayer nut. I was like, this guy could go the whole way, you know, global star. He kind of has become that to a certain level, but just kind of lost me along the way, really. I don't mind blues guitar, I'm well up for a bit of that, but I don't want every album to just be a whole load of blues guitar. We did a gig in Hollywood and apparently all the stars were there. I didn't find out till later. That's usually the way. That's usually the way, mate. Those sorts of things. I mean, I had my star goggles on for the Denmark show the other week, and I didn't see any really milling about, and we were in the artist area, but I don't know all the Danish superstars, and Lord knows every time a big Danish superstar went on stage out there, I mean, the stage layout was crazy. They had two main stages right next to each other, so everyone was in this sort of forest bowl, and then there was another stage which was right by where the artist sort of backstage was, and that was called the Star Stage, and that was huge as well. And then there was the stage we were on, which was this big top thing, which was great. And then there were like loads of other sort of smaller pilot stages, but I didn't know any of their superstars. I wouldn't. So it could well be I was stood next to someone very famous, but I wouldn't have known. But it was great. We had a great time. So really looking forward, fingers crossed, that we get a lot of that next year. I hope. Let's hope. So yeah. Where are we? 3:15. I have a feeling there's some messages from my band on WhatsApp. So if you guys can just hold on a second, I'm going to see if I can check those out. So it could well say this is paused, so I'm hoping I'm going to come back. However, I'm not sure if I can without coming off this this live chat. Been down this road before. No, I don't think we can. Music has stopped. It has. There's something going thump, 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 but I think it's one of the food stalls. Tell you what, guys, just stay there. I will be back within about 60 seconds. Just bear with me. I'll come back. It will probably be on a separate live chat. I'll be back. Stay there.